Hi, Tom Cole, the coach for Steve Taylor's Community Connection, and certainly have a very interesting young lady who started a business, Shannon Cazel. And Shannon, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
It's called IV Therapy. And we should tell the folks where you're located, first of all. Where are you located?
Yeah, so Prime IV Hydration Wellness is located right across the street here in the shops of River Place.
Okay,
Yep.
so it's easy to find, very, very accessible. And then, Shannon, I know it's kind of and I probably don't like this word, hip or trendy, but it is kind of a hip thing these days that people suffer from dehydration or vitamin deficiencies, or they're just feeling lackluster, or they don't have the energy and they don't, so it is kind of a hip, trendy thing. Talk about what people come in for.
They come in for various ailments
Okay.
and stuff like that. So just general health and wellness, sports recovery,
Okay.
performance and all that. There's immunity building, anti-aging, weight loss, is a
Got
big
it.
one. There's many things we can help you with.
What do you do with weight loss? Because everybody's into the weight loss thing.
We've got a drip tailored towards that,
Really?
and if it doesn't get you the results you need after being on that, we do GLP-1s as well. So
Okay.
that's like tirzepatide and stuff that you've
Yeah.
heard of. So
Yeah, so many people are into that today. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about, when you're getting worked on, you've got a drip going, or you're getting a massage, or because it's a health spa, right?
it's more, we kind of say just a nice medi spa. You're
Yeah.
there. It's a spa-like setting.
Yeah.
So you're going to be sitting in these awesome massage pods while you're soaking up your nutrients.
Yeah, massage pod sounds good. It's not like the mall where they have the massage chair.
No, they don't hurt you. Yeah.
Well, like 300 people walk by you while
Right.
you're getting the
Yes.
massage in the chair in the mall. Not really like,
No.
the greatest situation. All right, young lady, you started a business. Congratulations, you're a year in. And, one of the hardest things to do in life is to start a business on your own. What have you learned about that? Because you always, when you take on a venture like this, you always learn something, A, about what you're doing, and B, about yourself. So take me inside that, Shannon.
Obviously I've never started my own business.
Yeah.
I've done a lot in my career,
I'm going to
basically to run
time
the
out you
business.
right now, because we talked about this before downstairs. You said something so interesting to me, and I want to get it on there, about why you started the business, because it happens to so many people. You were having
It's
a rough
my
day.
midlife crisis.
Okay,
right?
and you were
Yes.
having a rough day at work, was that
Yes, rough day at work. I opened LinkedIn and there's a spam message that said, "Do you want to change your life?" And yes, I do. Yes, I did. So
Shannon
I answered
raised
that
her
call.
hand,
Yes.
and she said, "It's me.
Yes.
You're talking to me right now."
Yes, I was ready, and
Okay, so we've established that. And then what have you learned about yourself? What have been the positives about starting a business on your own?
the positives, just really like how much strength it takes, for a woman to do this, on my own, I'm all in 100% with this. So it takes a lot of, strength, will, to keep going and not, going home and crying every day or, kind of thing. So, but no, I love it. I wouldn't change anything. It's brought me back out of my shell too with all the networking and everything I've done. So no, I love it.
So that's kind of what you've learned about yourself, is it's made you grow as a person.
Yes.
Sometimes a lot of people get trapped in jobs that they're on autopilot.
Yes.
It's muscle memory. They just do it, and they don't have a passion. I think if you are working at something that you have a passion for, it's the old cliche, it's not work. Well,
Right.
it isn't
Right.
work. It isn't work.
Right. No, I love this. You hit that point, it's like you just keep thinking to yourself, like you are meant for so much more, and you don't know what that is until I answered that call. And he's like, "Well, how about you run your own business?"
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, and don't you think sometimes that it's, I don't know if it's karma or I'd be too goofy about it, but sometimes the world's align or whatever it is, that you're in the right place at the right time with the right message, and suddenly it resonates with you.
Yes.
Again, hey, they're talking to me, and then Shannon goes, "I'll start my own business,"
Yes.
How scary was it initially when you started out?
Oh God, yeah. When obviously they start talking about all the financial, requirements and stuff, but I made it happen.
Was that hard for you to put? Is that hard to get the financing? Is it hard to?
It's a process.
Okay.
It's a long process. So I wouldn't say necessarily hard. It's just tasking, because they keep, we need this, we need that,
Yes.
and you feel like you send it over and over and over, but
Yes.
it's done, whatever, sign a lease and done.
Well, and usually being successful as you are, you need good people around you.
Yes.
I think that's part of Steve Taylor's so successful, and the reason he's successful, part of the reason he's immensely talented gentleman. and he treats people great, which is a pretty good combination. But I think he's hired good people, but he hires that way across the board. I don't know, 400 employees at Taylor, I don't know that I've met someone that I didn't like.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. You know, when you work someplace, you know, most of the people are pretty good. Well, hey, if you met Bill, stay away from him. You know, I mean, we don't have any bills like that. You know, have you found hiring people?
It is a challenge.
Okay.
You obviously want, like in the beginning, I've always said, I don't want to go to work and dread who's working that day. You know, so
that's a long day, by the way.
You know, and they've got the skills. You want the personality, so you know that you can work together, and they're going to help you succeed as well. So we want them to succeed, and you know, get those clients to keep coming back.
How much, Shannon, you're in a business that's very similar to what we're in at Taylor. It's so client based. You offer a service. We offer a service. We give you cars. You know, you give the IV drips for your health and weight loss and sports injury recovery and all the dehydration. More people are dehydrated, which you know much better than I do. They don't even know they're dehydrated, and then it causes all these other problems. So you're offering tremendous service. So you offer a service, but it's more than a service. It's connectivity with the people that are using your service, right?
Yes.
So has that been hard for you to make that one-on-one and make those connections?
Not necessarily. Like we've got, you know, like I love all my clients that come in, you know, and I personally, I'm there a lot. I try to, you know, talk to everybody when I'm there. Same with the RNs. We have all RNs on staff. So they do that well, or very well. They're just, you know, you got to build that trust with them. So they do a good job with that.
And that's great for people to know when they come to see you that they're RNs, because you know, some people, when you get an IV, if they're not really skilled at it, you know, that can be, hey, it's the 27th time we tried on this. I don't know if it's going to work, you know. It's important.
Yes.
You know, somebody who really knows how to do that, no big deal, but you want a professional. You want a professional.
Absolutely.
What advice would you give, Shannon, to someone? Obviously, it's worked for you and you've been successful and you're living your dream. What advice would you give to someone who has one of those days? I don't like my job anymore, or I don't want to do this anymore, and I want to do something different. Would you tell them to go for it? Would you tell them to research it before they go for it? Or you just went for it, right?
Oh, I researched.
Did you research?
I mean, I'm not going in blindly. But,
you did research.
And, you got to kind of figure out who you were and who you are. And the guy that I talked to, the career entrepreneur coach, really is who I talked to. He really got to know me, and it's like, we want to do you want to do something that you are passionate about. So obviously health and wellness, getting to that root cause was something I want to do. So that's what you need to figure out: who you are, what do you want to do, and you're going to put your all into it. And yes, go for it. You know, if financially you can make it happen, go for it.
That could be a good T-shirt. The IV drip, go for it.
Yes,
you know, I kind of like that. And you're improving people's health, and you're making them feel better. That's a kind of a nice combination, right?
It's a very nice combination.
I'm sure you get many compliments of, Shannon, gosh, I wasn't feeling good before I came to you. Now I'm doing well. So that's got to be pretty cool. Let's tell the folks again where you're located.
Located at the shops of River Place here in Perrysburg, next to Club Pilates. So everyone knows where Churchill's is. In Perrysburg. So
that's right in that cul-de-sac there.
Right in the plaza.
Very cool. And then are we allowed to give a basic ballpark of what a treatment would cost, money-wise, what it costs?
Yeah, anywhere from $99 to $180 is regular price. We have a new client intro offer, $139 for your very first drip. You get the VIP treatment, which you'll get the massage chairs and everything. But, you know, that's our base. And, you know, we've got memberships that make it more affordable as well.
Very good. Well, Shannon, you know, I think it's so important that young people like yourself, venture out and venture out.
It's the IVs.
Yeah, venture out and go for their dreams and their business and what they want to do. And I think sometimes fear stops a lot of people from doing things that they'd be great at, that they would thoroughly enjoy. And they're afraid to step the foot in the water, you know. And sometimes, like you say, you just have to go for it.
You do.
And you find out a lot about yourself. I didn't get to that last part of the question. What have you found out about yourself doing this year-long venture now?
That I can do it. Like I just, you know, and you know, when I started it is, you know, you mentioned like, you know, you've got to have the right people around you. So, and you don't have that. Like, you know, and I love my parents, but they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like
Well, they're
what are
worried.
you
They're
doing?
worried
Yes.
about you. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're crazy. So
they're worried about
when
you.
you find that group,
Yeah.
that's supportive, and obviously my parents are very supportive
Yeah,
now. My
no,
dad's
I
like
get
my
what you-
maintenance guy now
So,
over
yeah,
there. But
they're worried about you, sure.
yeah,
And
so just finding the people.
I don't know if you're a football gal or not, but a long time ago, I'll give you a name. You probably didn't. Woody Hayes used to be the old Ohio State football coach. He wrote a book 1,000,000 years ago, and the title of the book was "You Win with Good People." And it always stuck with me. If you surround yourself with good people, you are always going to be successful. If you surround yourself with people that maybe are a little shaky or not the best, you're going to struggle.
Yep.
Gosh, who's the basketball coach at Duke? Coach K. You probably don't. I don't know if you know him or not, but he was one of the greatest basketball coaches in the history of college football. Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. I interviewed him one time, and it was a kind of an interesting thing. He said, well, it was in the middle of the interview. He stops me. He goes, well, what do you do when you're not doing this? I said, we go to schools, we talk to kids, and da-da-da-da. And he goes, okay. He said, when you go talk to people, I want you to tell them that Coach K said this. When he was in grade school, both his parents, and that's the greatest basketball coach in the history of college basketball, both of his parents had to quit school by the 8th grade. They had nothing more than an 8th grade education. They had a number of boys in the family. They both worked 2 and 3 jobs so the kids could get to school. And every morning, this is in grade school, when they go to the bus, the mom would do the lunches, the traditional, and they go to the bus. And Mike, as a young kid, he'd get the lunch and out he'd go. And his mom would say to him, Michael, make sure you put good people on your bus today. He'd grab his lunch, go out, and he said, well, okay, well, whatever. I get on the bus day after day after day after day after day. And finally, one day he turns around to his mom. What the heck are you talking about? He says, I'm getting on the bus. I got my lunch. I'm getting on the bus. What are you talking about? And she said to him, just kind of like the Woody Hastings, said, Michael, if you surround yourself with good people your entire life, you are going to be successful. If you choose not to do that, you're going to have a lot of problems. So put good people on your bus. Well, you're putting good people on your bus at IV Therapy. And the only thing I can say is probably, don't let Terry Crosby in, okay? We got to find a way to ban Cros, but
he likes it.
Yeah,
he likes it.
Super Cros is great. And he spoke. Matter of fact, it's too bad he's not here today because he spoke glowingly of the services. He thinks they're great.
Yep.
So good for you. Well, Shannon, we're proud of you. Keep up the good work, and maybe we'll do this again. You've been great. All right.
Thank you.
Tom Cole, the coach for Steve Taylor Community Connection.